describe what you feel your strengths are at this moment, what you're feeling really good about in your work, your ability to, whether it be ASL to English, English to ASL, role shifting, using classifiers, voicing idiomatic English. What are you feeling really comfortable about at this time? Then I want you to think about the areas that need further development. Okay. But before you start writing, why do you think I'm asking you to do this?
To see how far we've come and we
Personally and individually, to reflect back. What does this reflection process do for us?
Make us self-aware of where we're at.
Absolutely.
Put this in control of our development.
Aware and in control. What can we do with this awareness and with this control of our own destiny?
Make a plan.
So then, I want you to think about what you're feeling good and confident in, what you think you need to work on, areas that need to be improved, and what you personally are going to do about it. What kind of an action plan are you going to develop for yourself that is going to help you make that next jump and improve your interpreting skills? Knowledge that you feel that you're lacking, you want to go back and review, techniques, strategies, it could be actually doing it, whatever it may be. Take some time to reflect what you feel good about, what you think you need to improve on, and what you can do to work on those areas. Okay? And then we're going to share them with each other when we're done. Okay? Go ahead.
Wait, it doesn't have to be on any kind of special paper, right? I can write on scrap paper.
Sure.
Okay, so this is your.
Yes, no? Couple more minutes?
That can be done.
Okay, I want to ask you now to sit with a partner and share your insights into your work. Why do you think this would be important?
To see if other people's perception of your skills matches your work.
Sure. There's some peer feedback that we could get from this process. What else?
Can you say it out loud?
Mm-hmm.
It's different. I don't know.
Compare if we have
it's-
similar.
Yes, comparative. It's like putting this out there into the world. This is what I'm willing to say that I'm proud of, and this is what I'm willing to say are my areas of weaknesses. And it's sort of taking ownership of that by telling somebody else that information besides just holding it in. And Kate, say that again.
If we have similar strengths or weaknesses.
And so if we find that we're sitting with a partner and that partner has something similar that they see as an area of a need of improvement,
Work together on it.
yeah, absolutely. How would that help? Absolutely. Yes. 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 Has anybody ever read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey? Have you read it? Yes. I would highly recommend it. It used to actually be a required textbook for theory class several years ago, and for several years, students in theory class read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So I would recommend it for a very personal growth kind of introspection. It also gives very good suggestions on what to do to help yourself become the most effective person that you can be. Covey, I think it's Covey, or Covey. Some people say Covey, Stephen Covey, Stephen Covey, Stephen Covey.
But interestingly, in the book, just quickly, what's very much applicable to us as interpreters and in interpreter education is Stephen talks about these 3 developmental stages that we have, being very dependent, and for many interpreting students being unable to figure out what they're doing, how to do it. You start out being very dependent on the teacher for self-assessment and to say, this is how you're doing, and this is where you are, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, so it's a very dependent thing. Then as you develop as a professional and as a human, you work your way into independence, where you start thinking about yourself and your own work and the goals that you're setting for yourself and what to do. The 3rd stage is the realization that we're all interdependent. In the dependent state, what usually happens is what we call a lose-win situation. If you're dependent on someone else to tell you how you're doing, I win because I get to tell you, and you end up losing. When you're very much focused just on yourself only, it becomes a win-lose situation. I win because my skills are growing, and I don't care what you guys do. You can win, lose, do whatever you want. It's usually I'm winning because I'm taking advantage and focusing on myself. You lose. When we become interdependent and we find people who are working on the same issues that we're working on, and we can work with each other collaboratively, you grow, I grow. It's a win-win situation. And so we spend so much time after we graduate out there working by ourselves that when we get a chance to come together at conferences and talk and collaborate, we feel renewed and revived because we're interdependent on each other. So trying to foster this sense of ownership, doing self-assessments, looking at yourself and figuring out where you are is a step in this progression to become a professional autonomous interpreter, but it also leaves us just focused simply on ourselves. And we forget that we have this community of learners here, some who have strengths that I would love to work with because they have what I want, and if I work with them, they may pass some of that knowledge on to me. I have strengths that I could give, or we both may be working on something together. Let's get together and attack this collaboratively, and that way we both will win and improve our skills. Does that make sense? Any comments about that? Nothing.
Feels good. I had issues that I needed to address with you, and this is exactly the issues that I wanted to address with you. So, yes, this is exactly what we need.
I've got others who speak incredibly.
Just kidding. Just patient too. Inappropriate. What did you say? No.
Do you think working collaboratively and sharing our strengths and weaknesses with each other is beneficial?
Yeah,
At this
I
stage?
think it's something
Yes.
that we do already.
You do, and I have seen many of you working collaboratively, or I get videotapes where all of you are doing your homework together at somebody's house or somebody's apartment with a cat. So I know that you do this, and that's the interesting thing about interpreter education is we're very small and tight-knit that you become very close with each other and work together for the betterment of all of you, as opposed to just being out there on our own and trying to figure all this out